Hi, folks. I'm Warren. I'm COO of Frankie One, and I want to talk to you about how the Brolly and Frankie One are partnering to make sure that they get, first of all, like the cutting edge in fraud and compliance. That's not just an important part; it's a mandatory part of what they're trying to do. But also, why they've chosen us to partner with them to help them to scale on this journey that they're talking about today. Now. I appreciate most of you guys probably aren't fraud and compliance experts. That's okay. I get it, right? It's the kind of the context everyone's core, right? Banks want to sell mortgages, cryptos want to trade crypto. They didn't set up their businesses thinking they're going to be, oh, I'm an amazing fraud and compliance expert. So I guess that's where we come in, right? So maybe to explain the problem that's coming on this place, a bit of a brief timeline. So, for over 100 years, the way that banks verified people is you came into the branch and turned up in person, you showed your ID. And it wasn't until the 2010s, like literally 15 years ago, that electronic KYC, the ability to use an API to call credit bureaus, to call the government, to do a check on this person came in. And honestly, this was kind of a light bulb moment for the fintech world. Suddenly, you're allowed to do real-time onboarding. Yeah, this is all good, but kind of late 2010s, people were like, crap, how do we make sure that the person who's submitting their details is actually the person behind the computer, right? You can pick up a driver's license from a wallet, you can submit the name, date of birth, address, you can get passed. And so solutions such as biometrics, and you probably had it, you take a photo of yourself, you take a video of yourself, came in. But as more and more people came online, there's more and more fraudsters in this space. Because there's more and more money in this space, right? And so things are constantly evolving, right? In the last 2 years, and you got, Australia is the data breach capital of the world between like Optus, Medibank, and so forth, right? These IDs are out there, and on top of that, 2023, I'd say generative AI is just getting bigger and bigger. We're seeing fake IDs come through. We're seeing fake videos come through. And so there's an arms race going on right now, right? Who's the best vendor who can protect against generative AI fakes? How can we use things like device signals to try and pick up better senses of fraud? And the government's on this as well. Just last year, right? We had the Australian Banking Association. They've mandated biometric type checks for trying to onboard people. But the government just approved legislation which will allow you to use your banking details or government details to get KYC'd instead of needing to provide an actual physical or pictures of licenses. Hell, I was reading an article just the other day where OpenAI is talking about, hey, how do we identify people who are real versus bots? Maybe we should create a global network of retinas to be able to prove IDs. Right? And the reason I talk to you about this is just to kind of emphasize that the rate and scale and pace of change and innovation and arms racing is exponential going on right now, right? If you think about that timeline I just talked you through. And so that's a question for someone like the Brolly is like, well, how do we keep on top of this, right? There are hundreds and thousands of point-to-point solutions out there. They're changing every day because what we need to protect against is changing all the time. And that's what Frankie One is really doing to help here, right? Like the traditional way of doing this is like, okay, we'll go pick the best of breed solutions. Each one of those is probably going to take 6 months because it's going to impact my time to market. On top of that, right? Okay, now I have all these different solutions. You've got two problems now. You've got what we call the swivel chair. I have to go through all these different situations because they don't kind of talk to each other. And moreover, I kind of need them to talk to each other because I want to create more complex flows. Hey, if someone's higher risk, I want to put them through a higher friction flow just to make sure they don't get through, right? And that's what Frankie One does. We have access to 350 different providers and databases across 190 countries. We use that and bring it all together through one API so that you can get access to all these best of breed solutions. You can get those solutions talking to each other. And if you need, right? If a different solution is better in the future, you can easily switch to that solution without going through that pain of trying to reintegrate. So I guess a bit more about us, right? So we work with everyone from tier one banks like your Westpac, your CBAs, to the lending space, right? Before pay, Harmony, Afterpay, to high growth, high risk areas such as your cryptos and Kraken, right? And what we may do, and what it shows, is like we help companies be successful by comprehensively helping them with their identity and fraud solutions. Hopefully that's proven in who we work with. Hopefully that's proven in the recognition we've had. Last year we were RegTech of the Year in Asia and FinTech of the Year in Australia, right? So I generally get excited by the value we're helping folks like the Brolly get access to. And just kind of bring that to life a bit. This slide just makes it just more meaningful, right? But we have all these different providers. And so as someone like the Brolly grows, we've also got the capabilities to grow with them. Okay, so today we might just be doing KYC, right? But what if we're seeing quite a lot of fraud? And that can happen, right? Or small organizations like the Brolly in their nascency, they're seen as easy targets, right? We may need to actually provide some more frictions in the checks, okay? Or we can give you access to those services. Maybe the Brolly goes on and says, hey, and I haven't gone through full business strategy, but maybe you're thinking, hey, maybe small businesses are now someone I want to loan to. Okay, how do we do business checks? So we have access to those, and you can kind of just easily switch those off and on, either new services or more providers in the same service, right? And just a bit more on like, why would you have more providers in the same service? Because the way, at least today, KYC works is that you have to go and verify against other trusted databases. And great, if you have one database, you're kind of getting a pass rate of maybe 80%. If you have two databases, and this is actually a raw customer, you're getting 85%. If you have three databases, you're getting 92%. Right? These are real people who you've paid marketing dollars to come, turn up, and use your app, right? And I guess you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's 1 in 10 people who you paid your marketing dollars for. They've turned up, and we're now allowing you to access that customer lifetime value from who you would otherwise not get. I mean, so it's kind of in a nutshell, right? We're this, we've got an integration platform, so you can access the best of breed. We do actually offer some decision engineering tools, right? So how do you piece all those different tools together and think about the risk and think about the graduated onboarding and allow you to access that higher friction journey and to protect yourself against higher risk individuals. And we allow you that single customer view. So against all these different tools, how do you bring that all together? And so when I think about the Brolly and Frankie One and working together, it's two sides of it. As I said, right? We're an Australian-based company, best of the best, allow you to scale and also access the highest pass rates. But also, for me, I think we've been on this journey ourselves, right? We know what it means and what it takes to scale as an organization, right? We're only just over 5 years old ourselves here in Australia. I'm just really excited to be able to support the Brolly on their growth.